Kevin, can you hear the music?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay. Just want to make sure I was set up properly. There. Hello there. You can sit here. No, you're welcome to sit in here. All right, we got a few more minutes yet. I'm gonna get people rounded up. Is there feedback from me talking? There is.
A little bit.
Oops, let me go backwards. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'll mute. Because that's how I got it. There we go. It's on.
You want me on Zoom? I know that
Huh? You want me on Zoom? No, I'm here.
inspections. I'll go get my coffee.
I'm getting everything together. Huh? Yeah, for now. This is what I'll do is I'm gonna video this one. We're gonna give everybody another minute or two and then we'll get started. Grab your lunch if you want, and before we start, got a sponsor that brought us sandwiches and chips out here. I'm not sure what else. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
All right, if you guys can grab your lunch and come on in so we can get started, that'd be great. That's right. All right. Uh-oh, we still have feedback. How's that? Is that better? We still have feedback?
I can hear it. Why don't you unmute yours? Mute yours and I'll unmute mine.
Now, how's that? Can everybody on Zoom hear us? All right, good job. Way to go.
We got it figured out.
We are working, we are technology wizards. So welcome to our May office meeting. It's great to see people in person as well as everybody on Zoom. I know there's a couple classes going on today competing with us, but we're still going to move right ahead. So
We're sideways on the TV.
I see Adrian with his head sideways. That's, we're just keeping you guys on your toes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Why does that not move?
Hold on, we got this.
There we go. First off, we would like to thank our lunch sponsors today for bringing in lunch. I think Kyle O'Boyle is actually on Zoom, and we have Scott Stamps with us. So thank you very much for lunch. We always like lunch. Kyle, are you on here?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, go ahead and share what your company does.
All right, I would love to. Let me see if I can get it up. Is everybody seeing that?
Yes.
All right, well, hello, everybody. I am Kyle O'Boyle. I am the CMO here at VRX Media, and it is vrxmedia.com. I actually, unlike some high school teachers, I actually want you guys, you can go there on your cell phones right now if you guys got your phones by you. Scott Stamps is our local rep there in Columbus. He actually ran our Jacksonville market for a couple years and recently relocated to Columbus. And he is a very awesome and really well-experienced real estate photographer. And here at VRX Media, we actually are on the Keller Williams Marketplace. If you guys ever use that, we're on there with our VRX staging for virtual staging. So we do a lot of work with Keller Williams offices across the country, not only with local photography and drone and 3D, but also with virtual staging through the KW Marketplace. And without further ado here, I know I've only got a few minutes. I'll just fly quick through who we are and how you guys can leverage some of our services, especially in this hot seller market, to win listings and get some more referrals. So what does VRX stand for? Well, the V and the R and the X, it's for visual real estate experts. And a lot of us here at VRX actually come from real estate backgrounds. Our virtual staging team at vrxstaging.com has 3 former real estate admins that used to work on real estate teams. And Nate Strom, the CEO and co-founder, he was actually a residential realtor for 11 years. And then his business partner at the time in real estate was Seth Greenwell. They both were real estate guys for a long time. And they wanted to start using these types of services on their listings to get into a higher average price market area where they, at the time, didn't really have any business doing winning listings out there. But they started showing 3D tours and drone and professional photos. And within a year, they actually started getting a ton of listings with average sale prices in the 500, 800,000 range, when before their wheelhouse was more of the 200,000 and under range. So that's really how the company started, was they were doing it on their own listings, and they started getting requests from other realtors in the area. This was in the Milwaukee area about 6 years ago, to start doing media on their listings. And that's how the company started. I came on in the first 8 months of the company. I actually have a background in marketing and digital marketing. And at the time, I was working for a commercial real estate company. So when we say we're the visual real estate experts, it's not only because of our drone and photo and 3D skills, but all of us from the leadership down, a lot of us have real estate experience. And the company started 6 years ago in Milwaukee, and now we're in over 45 plus areas across the country. Last year, you can see some crazy stats. We delivered over 340,000 professional HDR photos the next day, which is really cool. And we somehow made it on the Inc. 500 last year as one of the 500 fastest growing companies in the US. And we were the only real estate media company, marketing company that was on the entire Inc. 5000. So when we say experts, we used to kind of pretend that we were. I think now 6 years later, we really are, I think, the best at it. And obviously, I'm heavily biased. So, but in the Columbus area, we cover about a 60-mile plus radius of local coverage. And I'll show you guys in a second how easy it is to just book us online and see all of our packages. But before I do that, I'd like to just kind of go over, and I'm sure all you guys know a lot of this stuff right now, the big shift that we've been seeing in real estate marketing in the last year or two here, especially with the pandemic and whatnot. As you guys might already know, in fall of 2019, so right before the pandemic hit, the National Association of Realtors released a big report that was telling us that basically 80% of people that are buying and selling homes are doing it on their cell phone, on their mobile device, which is why I kind of encourage you guys to head over to our website on your smartphone. And Trulia and Zillow, we're seeing 75% of their traffic was done on mobile and on their apps. Realtor.com and Redfin.com are reporting similar stats. Realtor.com did a huge study in the spring of 2020, and they found that 90% of buyers 35 and younger, they basically want 3D visual content on all their listings. So obviously you want to have really good photos, but especially in this crazy market right now, winning listings by showing off a 3D tour at your listing presentation, or just marketing yourself as an agent that does 3D tours on everything, regardless of the list price, will definitely help you guys win listings. And then our cost is going to make you be able to afford it, even on a $100,000 listing or $1 million listing or whatever. So making sure you guys are leveraging 3D content in important ways and putting yourself out there. This is going to get a little obnoxious, but I pulled a bunch of news articles from the last year. This is one, says the housing market's ripe for disruption. If you guys can see in highlight there, it says that the digitalization of home selling has been flying under the radar, but it is disrupting the house transactions. And then that third bullet point down there says that the COVID-19 pandemic means that more photos and 3D tours are needed online to tap that search demand. Zillow's going all in on 3D tours. I know Zillow's, kind of a naughty word, and I might agree with you guys there a little bit on that one for sure. They're going all in on 3D tours and virtual tours. Even rival Redfin through redfin.com and through their own listings are putting out Matterport 3D tours on every single listing. And both Zillow and redfin.com put listings with 3D tours. They promote them higher and put them up there automatically to be viewed first. So that's a big deal. Here's a random article. It says the pandemic has spurred virtual home tours, and it looks like they're going to be here to stay. Here's another one from Bankrate that virtual home buying and selling becomes the new normal. Here's some more. Industry experts say virtual realty is the future of home buying. Open houses are out. Virtual tours are in for the new normal of buying and selling. 3D tours are much more than a marketing tool. That's an article from Inman. Here's one from Single Family Rental Research. They found out that 3D tours, that properties that had they had an increased lead percentage of 25%, and they decreased their days on market by 23% when they were using a 3D tour versus just having photos up. So that's pretty cool. And then I've been seeing a lot of these ones lately popping up in my news feeds. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of buyers in the last year that are buying homes without even seeing them in real life. They're looking at those virtual tours, 3D tours, and Facebook videos. And because the market's so hot right now, they're actually buying those homes without even seeing them in person. So the market is definitely shifting and changing, and that pandemic really accelerated it. So then kind of where do we come into the play here? Well, our three core services are professional photos, 3D tours, and drone. We also have tons of other add-ons and whatnot. Our HDR photography looks incredible. It's been on Inman, it's been on in KW Luxury Magazine, it's even been in People Magazine. There was an Atlanta Housewives cast member that was selling her home, and we did the photos there, so our photos made it into People, which is kind of funny. But our VRX photos, they look amazing. We don't charge you guys more for more photos. We just shoot as many photos as the house needs, so you're typically getting 30 to 50 photos. They look awesome online and on smartphone screens. Matterport 3D tours are really, I don't know if you guys have ever tried them on your smartphone. They work way better on your phone than they do on your computer. And remember, that's where like 80 to 90% of people are looking at real estate listings right now. And it really is a contactless 3D showing right in your hands. And the drone videos and photos that we do, they're awesome. We do 1 to 2 minute videos. We have a package that's only $300 where you get all of these services. No matter if the house is under 5,000 square feet, it's only $300 to get everything: drone photos, drone video, Matterport 3D tours, all this cool stuff. And our videos, we try to keep them under 1 minute. If you guys know, on Instagram and Facebook, Instagram actually forces you to keep your videos at 59 seconds or less. So we're really trying to get you guys ready to just dominate this new normal, to really market yourselves out there and say, hey, I'm the professional realtor. I'm doing all this stuff on every listing. I got you prepared. What I've been noticing, I don't know if you guys have been noticing, there's a lot of seller doubt out there. We're telling them, hey, your house is going to sell in 24 hours. A lot of them don't believe it, which is kind of funny. But if you're going in there and you're building confidence, like, hey, I'm doing pro photos, I'm doing 3D tours, I'm the one that's going to get the job done, we're finding agents are getting hired just because of that. Even though the house could sell, with anybody listing it right now, it really helps you get to win listings too. So what about our HDR photos? Well, we always have been saying for years that that's the first impression that you guys get. It's a forward-facing marketing piece to show that you're the professional agent. Do you want those junky photos on your listing? I've been seeing a lot lately. Agents are just putting one iPhone photo up, and of course the house is going to sell regardless, but is that really going to get your seller to refer you and to tell them that you're professional? Our HDR photos, we're taking 5 photos for every 1 photo, all these different exposures, and then we merge them together, and that's why our photos look so good. That's why you can see out the windows in all of our photos. If you guys ever see blown out windows, that means that they're not doing HDR process like we do. And homes with high quality photos receive a 47% higher asking price per square foot. That was a stat from 2018. I think that it's still important today. Here's some cool examples. I like showing average homes because I could come in here and show you guys all these $1 million listings and you'd be like, hey, that's not how all the listings look. So this is just like a $160,000 listing, just a 900 square foot ranch. we automatically do blue sky and green grass for free on all of our photos. This was actually shot on an overcast day, and you would never know. We even do it on interior photos. If you see the blue sky out there, that was a gray overcast sky. That's just the interior of the same house, and the photos look absolutely incredible. That's how you guys build a good referral base, and sellers in the neighborhood are going to say, man, I saw that listing. I'd like to hire those guys. Here's some other cool photos. We'll just shoot through them. You guys can see a ton of examples on our website. I like showing bathrooms because sometimes bathrooms look a little funky, but even our bathrooms look pretty good. And then our next service, 3D tours. If you guys did pull up your phone on vrxmedia.com, if you scroll down a second or two there, you can actually see that 3D tour. Pop it open on your phone. And I always recommend when you guys are competing on a listing or meeting with a seller to just give them your phone or text them that link and say, hey, I'm going to do this on your phone. And when you walk for your listing, when the seller sees that, they're just like blown away. Even here in 2021, there's tons of sellers that have never seen this technology. It'll definitely help you win the listings. We got some crazy stats on that. We always have been saying now, so it's like, do it now, do it later, but you need to see on your smartphone what these 3D tours look like. That's where 85% or more of buyers and sellers are researching agents and listings, and to see how important 3D tours are going to be moving forward. And like I said, use it on your listing presentation. So we also do drone. I usually show video, but I want to keep this one short. You guys can see tons of our drone videos, including ones that Scott's done in Columbus and down at Jacksonville when he worked there. Over at vimeo.com/VRX Media Group, we're doing drone videos every day across the country. All of our guys do them the same. We do a lot of low flight, which a lot of our drone competitors do a lot of what we call roofing videos. We like to keep them low, show off that property. And what I like about these two is that these drone photos were used as the primary listing photos. So if you guys ever have drone photos, we like to take some low flight ones that you can use as the primary listing photo. And that's going to just get you a ton more clicks on MLS, on all the listing websites. When buyers and realtors see that primary listing photo, it just makes you want to stop and click on it. Even if you don't want to, you usually do end up clicking on it just because the pic looks so cool. We also offer VRX staging, virtual staging. So that's where you can find us on the KW Marketplace. It's actually only $25 a photo on the KW Marketplace. That's where we put digital furniture in any vacant photo. We even stage outdoor spaces, as you can see on that one, which is pretty cool. So if you have a big patio, we can put grills, we can put fireplaces out there and all that kind of cool stuff. And we do in schematic floor plans. If you guys ever have a 3D tour and you want to kind of take it to the next level, it's only $20 to get that. It's like a 98% accurate measurement of all the floors. We label them for you. It looks really professional. We also do virtual staging, virtual twilight. This is an add-on you can order when you order any photo package on our website, and it makes it look like a real twilight shoot. Right now, the going rate's like $175 to $300 just for some real twilight photos. So we actually came out with this cool product where you can just do it for 10 bucks. We have a 2-pack on there for 20 that you guys can just get a front and a back, and a 4-pack as well. It looks really cool. Those are next day delivered as well. Now we'll just hop right into how easy it is for you guys to book online. I actually pulled up a booking form here. I typed in just an address in the Columbus area over in Dublin. And once you guys type in the address and the square footage, you just pick a square footage range. And then here's all of our pricing. It's only a $125 for a flat rate for photos. You guys, the Matterport and photo package is only $200 for most properties in the Columbus area. And then here's that $300 10X package. You guys can use that on any home under 5,000 square feet. You get drone videos, drone photos, Matterport 3D tour. We give you free room measurements. And that one, use it and abuse it on all listings, because that's an awesome one to really help you guys get referrals and do a lot of extra marketing online. And then we have tons of different add-ons. You can scroll through those. And once you pick a package, you literally just type in, here's all the add-ons pop up in orange here. And then you just pick the time when you want to book. Oh, let's book Scott on whatever day we want. As soon as you guys book it, it's 100% confirmed and you guys are good to go. So that is all I have on my presentation. I do have a coupon code. I actually got 2 coupon codes for you guys. So write these down if you can. The first coupon code is new client. If you guys use that on your first booking, you'll get $25 off. But I have an even better one that I'm not going to put on the screen. It's KW50. That gets you guys $50 off your first booking as a Keller Williams agent. And then you can use that $50 code on your first one. Then on your second one, use that $25 one. And you guys just save $75, which is super cool. And that's all I got for you guys. I'm done. Any questions or what?
Thank you so much. That's great information. And I jotted down the numbers too, and we'll include them in our nightly news.
All right, and then you guys have my email. You guys can share it out with everybody if anyone has any questions or want to reach out to Scott or I, and we're there for you.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's move on. Who can tell me something good? And you at home, unmute yourselves because we want to hear from you too. Who can start me out?
I can.
Go, Max.
Then I can get out of your hair.
Oh, we love having you, Max.
Thank you.
Tell everybody who you are. If they don't already know.
I'll be really quick, probably no more than 3 minutes. My name is Max Morris. Most of you know me. I'm a franchise owner of Home Team Inspection Service of Columbus. Thanks for allowing me to come today. I just wanted to share a couple of things with you that I'm not sure even your seasonal ones remember or know about Home Team. I just want to make sure that all the KW agents know what's happening with us and KW, and also a couple of others. Good news, this is our 3rd year Home Team Inspection Service, which is the largest US-based home inspection company. And I am franchise owner for Central Ohio. I have 7 licensed inspectors. We are the only approved vendor on KW International list. So if you look on your website, you go to approved vendors, home inspections, Home Team is, I believe, is the only one will pop up. So I'm bringing that up because it takes not just forget about what we have to do. Is this the way we do things? Your company really likes the way we do inspections, and it is very, very hard, right, to get KW endorsement as an approved vendor. And this is our 3rd year in a row that we are the only one that has that. And we just actually picked up our fair halfway as well this year. It's our 3rd year for KW, which we are grateful. We are very busy, but our guys can handle twice as many inspections we do now. We are busier than last year, which is what our busiest year ever. The other thing that we are doing a little bit on just a reminder, there is an app that if you want to, my information, I'm going to leave some cards in front desk here and some flyers. Just text me or email me, say you want that app. On that app, you can email us, call us, text us, book your inspections, and look at any inspections you've done for your last 12 months. And the realtors that use us, they really, really like it. And the last thing I want to mention is something we started doing last week. I realized that you guys go through a lot of headaches with buyers, sellers, and the way the market is now. One of the things that you have to deal with that I think you shouldn't have to is veterans loans when you have to do the termite inspection. And you go through because they will not approve it, that the buyers cannot pay for it, right? That's how it is. It's got nothing to do with you guys, nothing to do with us. It's just how the loan is processed. But the sellers, because they don't have to do anything these days, they just don't get it. And you tell them, no, you have to pay for it. Like, no, I'm not going to pay for anything. No, you have to pay for this. We cannot pay for it. So they still don't get it. It's just kind of taking the hassle out. When you book your inspection, if you call the office, just make sure they know it is a VA loan or another loan that requires, a government loan that requires termite inspection being paid by the seller. That way, we actually will do it, but all of our guys are licensed to do that, but we will take the price off. So we are going to give all the veterans and everybody a free termite inspection. That way, they get a free termite inspection, and then the process goes a lot smoother. You don't have to worry about it. There is no money involved in it. So the cost is zero. So nobody has to pay for it. So that's something we started doing last week.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, Max is one of our sponsors for our movie on
Right.
Friday, so I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
I'll see you tomorrow if you're coming to the movie. And I'm the drink sponsor.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I'm used to bringing alcohol to the.
It's a family-friendly event.
And it's friendly, so we gotta have pop, diet, and water. I'll be there.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
All right, thank you, Max.
Thank you.
I see somebody's hand up.
I know, I think Adrian has his hand up. Tell us something good, Adrian.
So since we just had VRX there talking about drone and virtual tours, I did a virtual tour for someone in my personal market here, closer to where I live. And I had 16 visitors to the virtual tour, and it had 3 offers by the end of day, 24 hours later. And I thought that was something good.
That is good.
That is
So I
good.
do virtual tours, I do drone work, I do all that stuff that they were just talking about. So I started doing it here locally to market, and she's very pleased with the end result. So yeah, something good.
Okay, well, I know one of our agents, actually Kat Howard out of Buckeye Lake, they actually did a coming soon, did a drone and virtual tour and all that, got a curb offer sight unseen, and it never ended up hitting the market. So people are looking at those, definitely. So, all right, who else can tell me something good? It doesn't have to be real estate related. Can be, but it doesn't have to be. Alba.
Oh, no, I was waiting at Mark.
I thought Alba was going to say
I
something.
woke up this morning, so I'm above ground.
Awesome. Who else has something good to share?
We had our nice kickoff to the mentor launch party that last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
The great attendance, yes. Awesome.
Our first thing in person, so
I-
it was really exciting.
Well, and this is awesome, having a hybrid and mix of everybody together. So it's good having live bodies here. Who else has something good to share?
He does.
Go ahead.
Arnold, go ahead.
Oh, I'm a little shy today, I guess.
Yeah, I said no one ever.
Hey, so Christine and I got some good news to share. For those of you who may not know, it looks like most of you may. We were recipients of some Red Day love last week, and we just wanted to say thanks to everybody again. You guys made our lives better. You made our homes nicer, and I learned a lot about some of you I didn't know, and I got to meet new people. Christine and I are very much in love with this company and all the kindness and the hearts that you all put out for us. So that's our good news.
That was good news. And we love you guys too.
It was good seeing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vince.
All right, I got a couple things. First of all, after running back and forth to Hilliard, probably more than Mick, even though he bragged on Facebook. I was going to get an apartment there, I thought. I finally got one of my buyers in contract after writing on 11 houses.
11.
I won't tell you what they had to pay because it makes me nauseous. But anyway, got them in contract. So wish me luck because I'm heading to Arlington tonight and tomorrow. So I've written on 7 houses in Arlington. So anyway,
Good luck.
many of you may not know or may know that Teresa, which is my sister and partner, not my wife, married to Pam, in case you get blonde right here. Many of you know that my nephew actually played and graduated from the team up north, which is Michigan for you non-football fans, as a long snapper, and he just recently got drafted into the NFL.
That's huge news. Not just good news, that's huge news.
Yeah,
That's
so he is
amazing.
playing for the, pardon me to say, the Washington football team.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And those of you who did Red Day with us a few days ago down in Franklinton, we were painting houses and stuff. Cameron, his nephew he's talking about, was actually there. So if you were there that day, you actually know an NFL player. Isn't that cool? A celebrity.
That's awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. Who else has something good to share?
I do.
Go, go, go.
Archie passed his canine good citizen test. So yay.
I knew you were gonna say that, Blair.
It was, from what I understand, it was a touch and go for a second, but he did pass. So my grand.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you have ever had your dog tested for like just being a good behaved dog, but essentially, you know how you get them to sit and stay? And basically the test was having him sit in one place, me walk away, come back to him. Well, he decided instead of sitting in one place, when I walked away, he'd run around. So,
But all she had to do was say treats and he started paying attention again. So.
yes.
All right, good. Who else has something good to share? Anybody? All right, well, let's move on. This is another good to share, but we have a slide for it. We'll talk about Red Day more in a minute. Ann Hunger and Arnold and Christine actually, and Samantha Holler and Ann's daughter were, we helped work with them this year. Well, we found out the night before Red Day that the Westerville Area Westerville Area Realtor Association, they have a golf outing every year, and they voted that all of the proceeds, et cetera, would benefit Ann Hunger and her family this year. So that is something very good. So I hope to see lots and lots of you sign up foursomes. The link is on our office intranet to go to their website to be able to sign up for the golf outing that day. And it includes a shotgun at 11, includes a box lunch, and then dinner at the end. There's going to be all kinds of prizes. I believe the fee is $150. There's other opportunities to sponsor holes and do different things like that too. But I would love to see as many of us get involved as possible. So that was really cool. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, we've got our first ever drive-in movie night for Keller Williams Greater Columbus, and it's going to be tomorrow night at 7:30. We have a professional company coming in, and if for some reason it's inclement weather, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be very nice, and people want to be in their cars to watch the movie. They can do so because they have transmitters that you can actually turn it on your radio. Also, it'll be fun to be outside, so bring your lawn chairs, that kind of thing. We're going to start at 7:30 with some fun activities if you're bringing kiddos, or even if you want to dress up like Mulan. We would love to see it because there are going to be prizes.
I like the movie. I don't need to wear
We're going to have popcorn and soft drinks. We're going to have cornhole and ring toss and all kinds of things ahead. If you want to bring your own beverage, that's fine. I don't need to know about that, but that's not what we're providing. It's a family event. And our sponsors are America's Preferred Home Warranty, Rapid Mortgage, and Home Team Inspection. So we thank our sponsors for continuing to put all of this together for us. So fun to get together. All right, just in case there's any confusion, we are, as far as the mask mandate in our office, we're following what the governor's order is, which is what the CDC is. And so as of this moment, until June 2nd, if you are not vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask when you're moving about in the office. When you're sitting down in a meeting and socially distanced, you can remove it. If you're fully vaccinated, masks are not required in our office. So I just wanted to make sure, in case there was any question about that, you knew what the mandate was. And we have a sign on the door and all of that. So it's so fun to see people's faces again.
And then June 2nd.
Yeah, June 2nd, we'll post the order because in case there are any changes at that point. At this point, they're saying on June 2nd, masks will be optional for everyone. But like I said, we will post that when it gets closer to time, just in case they make any modifications. All right. Red Day this year was pretty amazing. I still have goosebumps because of a lot of things that happened that day. We worked at 2 different locations. There was a crew at Ann Hunger is living with her daughter, Samantha Holleran, Samantha's also an agent with us as well. And so we helped them out. They're spending a lot of time,
I'm doing it on Zoom.
I'm sorry?
Can you mute?
What?
Courtney, you're not muted. Oh, there you go.
Okay. And so at Samantha's house and Ann's house, we did landscaping, painted garage doors, front door, took doors off hinges and painted them. Cleaned up all their lawn chairs, did anything that we could do to help them that day. And we raised funds to help offset, what it costs for different things. We also worked at Arnold's house that day. And this was a picture of Ann out the window, so appreciative to see everyone and be around people. You all know how social Ann is, and for her not to be able to be around people, obviously that's a big change for her. So she was in her element. She had a wonderful day. Many of us got to visit with her. So that's one of our Red Day pictures. This is the crew that was working at Ann's location. So as you can see, we had a great motley crew. Ann was in the window and I told her she better not try to escape on that ladder that was up there. So, because she wanted to be down with us so badly. So thank you to everybody that participated. Then we had another motley crew with Arnold and Christine at their house. And I didn't realize how big their deck was. No, I'm kidding. We actually painted and stained their deck, did landscaping, etc. But go on to the next picture if you would. But one of the highlight of the day there was the crew that, for those of you that don't know Arnold was in a really serious motorcycle accident a little over 2 years ago. And the crew that responded from the paramedics from Westerville actually came to Arnold's house that day. And total fate, luck of the draw, one of those paramedics is married to one of our agents. And so they knew what we were doing that day, and they brought their shiny new fire truck to come see Arnold and Christine and, you know, kind of be reunited and celebrate that day with us, because that's pretty cool. So we were so blessed. It was a goosebumpy kind of moment. So.
I have them right now. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, so Red Day was a huge success again, and thank you to everybody that participated, whether it's by your time, your efforts, you know, dollars, etc. And boy, was I thankful for Tim Gordon at Ann's project, because we needed tools, and he was Tim the tool man that day. And so was Carl, actually, Washington. So, all right, we have some new folks within our organization. Michael Gallagher, Malva Alexander. Malva, you're here. Why don't you tell us a quick little second about yourself?
Hello, everybody. I am Malva Alexander. I relocated back home. This is actually home for me from Chicago after 30 years. As my mother's getting older, and I wanted to be here while she's still up and around. I spent 32 years in the IT industry, and I didn't want to sit in the field anymore. And I've always had a passion for rehabbing and of homes. So I've done 3 rehabs that I don't live in Chicago and solo. And I rehabbed my condo that I live in now. And so I wanted to pursue development and commercial real estate. And I feel like real estate needs a little spice, and so here I am.
Well, we're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
All right, also Cassandra, help me out, girls. Dautage, I hope I didn't say that incorrectly. Kyle Shaw, who is working with Emily Tapman, Candace Hall, Joe DeNovo, Ben J. Chow, Kevin Egan, and Kevin, you're on here. Tell us a little bit about you.
All right. I live in Newark. This is I've been in real estate for about 2.5 years. Just switched brokerages, and getting ready to do my first rehab. So it's kind of exciting on my end, getting my feet wet in that part of the industry as well. And I'm just a father. I have 2 kids. I do a lot of my business in Knox County and Licking County, but not afraid to venture out anywhere else. And I'm just excited to be with Keller Williams.
We're excited you're here too, Kevin.
Thank you.
We also have Bree Heppenstall and Craig Lenzo. Are any of the rest of you on here that I just can't see via Zoom? All right, I didn't want to miss anyone. Let's move on. All right, we also have a lot of birthdays this month. So I know that May was a busy time to be born, I guess. So we've got Carol Gonzalez, Brian Wharton, Jean Gordon, Shane Gant, Sheila Hamill, Godfrey Aye, Jay Bigger, Mary Jo Chulvik, Bray Heppenstall, Whitney Biggs, Chuck Bossy, Eric Deister, Martha Hunley, Alexander Finney, Alex, Caitlin Stevenson, Sama Latif, Stacy Joe Shiflett, Tammy Hoffer, Brad Keller, Dalton Albanese, Ryan Duty, Allison Milkovich, oops, no T in there. Sorry about that. And today's her actual birthday, I saw. Christopher Weatherly, Rose Kopp, Jada, and I'm not even going to go down that road. Brandon Potts and Rachel Hall has a birthday. So we won't talk about how old she's going to be.
No, we will not.
That's right. All right, moving on, maybe. All right. Also, I love this slide because our work anniversaries are important too, for a couple of reasons. We love the fact that we're in business with you and to celebrate that tenure. It's also when your cap date starts over. And if you ever have any questions about that, please make sure you let Megan or I know. We're happy to talk to you about that. But we've got some happy work anniversaries for folks. Amber Allen, Lindsay Heimiller, Shez, Tammy Cheek, Jennifer Julian Vita, Tariq Rashid, Kristen Chris, Renee Lanthrum, Vince Odie, Teresa Odie, happy anniversary. Aaron Graves, Tarek Manowar, Jacqueline Kulovich, Ashley Oliver, Ryan Duty, Jackie Higginbotham, Kyle Burke, and Brandon Potts. I think we ought to get some longer, more complicated names. I know, I love it.
Yeah, you're
You do.
doing good. I'm impressed, actually.
All right, let's move on. We've got some cappers to congratulate. Kristen, Chris, and Tracy Kepfer. 100% always feels awesome. So congratulations to both of them for capping. All right, broker bits. Well, Mark and I've had a lot going on and to talk about this last week or two, so
Last couple of weeks.
he's
yeah.
got some good information to share with you guys today. Not that he didn't know.
You know, there's a lot going on with, like Vince said, he wrote 500,000 offers and he finally got one offer accepted and several $1,000s above list price. To help with what we're seeing in the industry now is that there's a conflict of understanding. And that conflict of understanding is what is that escalation about, or what is this gap language about? So I wanted to go over it with you to help eliminate some of the conflict of how to really present an escalating clause or how to present a gap clause in the contract in your contracts. Number one, if you're writing an escalating clause, you're practicing law, and so you've already violated your license. In our dot loop system, we have an escalation addendum. And that escalation addendum should be read and understood and presented. And it's very clear, and there's a reason for the clarity in it. And what we see in this type of language, it eliminates the conflict that we're coming across as far as the understanding of how escalation is applied. You know, if the buyer offers X amount of dollars as the purchase price, the following terms are going to apply. The seller prior to this offer or during the acceptance period of this offer receives another bona fide offer, that's a multiple offer situation, which is almost every deal going on nowadays, with a price equal or greater than the buyer's offer, the purchase price of this offer shall automatically increase to the X amount of dollars. So that's where you're putting in. Are you putting in 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000? Is it going to really escalate that much? More than the highest third-party offer. All offers are calculated less any seller paid concessions. See, that's very clear. And what happens is that's an argumentative point. Is a seller paid concession a part of the deal or not? The purchase price under this offer in no event shall exceed blank dollars, which is the maximum amount of offer that as escalated. And that is one of the statements that is always missing, almost always missing in contract writing. You say you're going to escalate, but you don't say where I'm going to stop. And that's where a lot of conflict comes, because then do I have the money or do I not have the money? That becomes an issue on the finance part of it. To complete the escalation of purchase price, the seller shall submit a counter offer signed by the seller with the escalated purchase price. So now that you've come to an agreement, now you have to prepare another document, and now you have to have both parties agree. I'll come back to that paragraph number 3 in a second. But for right now, we're going to use this language and continue along this line. The seller shall attach the counteroffer, all pages relevant to the purchase offer, and the signature page of any third-party offer used by the seller to escalate this price. And once the parties are in contract, the escalation provisions are terminated and have no further legal effect. And so what happens, you know, in multiple offer situations, offers keep pummeling in. And so what you want to do is you want to put a stop to it and protect your client. So I'm going to go back to that third paragraph here. And this has been debated on both sides of the legal aisle of whether you should or should not do it. It says, once you guys complete an escalation agreement, that you're going to rewrite the agreement, and then you're going to re-sign the agreement. And then that's where there's a lot of conflict in law today, in the legal side of this, is because what if the seller doesn't agree to it? You know, so now he signed this document and says, I will agree to it, But now are you gonna force me to do this or not? So this clause here is being looked at as whether it's going to be eliminated from this escalating clause or not, because there's still legal conflict of how that line is to be understood. I'm on the broker advisory council at Columbus Realtors, and in a panel of about 20 brokers, and about 3 or 4 of those brokers were attorneys, and there still was no consensus in this language. And so now it's going to Jack Birch at Columbus Realtors, and this is going to be legally reviewed at Jack Birch.
I think it is. Yeah.
Finally, yeah. How to restructure this type of language. There's too much conflict, too much adversarial.
Yeah. That's what I say. They didn't do anything.
As long as we have this escalating clause, and it hasn't changed. Remember, this is presented by Columbus Realtors. We're going to continue to use it. And I don't want you writing an escalating clause because we're not lawyers. We're real estate agents, and we're filling in the gaps, and this is the gap we're going to fill in is by using this addendum. So don't write an escalating clause because you're probably going to write it wrong.
So when we were like, that,
Yeah, it's Delco. It's a holding area for.
Paul, you're not muted,
water.
Paul George.
and we can't mute you for
we
some
need
reason.
to rewrite the.
Pamela, can you tell Paul he's not?
You need to say.
Pamela,
Buyers are agreed.
There's solar panels on that runs this house, basically. I see it on the other side. 42 grand they spent on that. I said, you think he ever got your money out of it? He goes, heck, no. I'm sure.
You come to terms and conditions, we create another addendum, which is going to adjust the sale price. And the new sale price is going to be.
Then the lender canceled it, so I. What is it? I haven't done any yet. And I know they want us to like disclose, certain things. Now, this bank, they need to fix the, yeah. They need to do a small, little.
The price might change.
They got a generator too, a whole house generator.
And we see the same thing as far as the gap. What we've been saying is that and there's a $300,000 house, or let's go 200. There's a $200,000 house.
Yeah, you see like, that's your car, so, yeah, obviously he's into it.
Never going all things.
As he says.
And then you have the gap.
Oh, the one's into it, I got you. I got a tractor on gas back here, a little.
Mark, can you hold on 1 second? I'm so sorry. George, you are not muted. He's not. And we can't mute you, Paul, so if you can mute, that'd be great.
You can claim the host if you have the host ID, and then you can mute him. There's no host assigned to the meeting, but once we do that, you can mute whoever.
No, it won't let us. We've clicked on the microphones.
Because no one's assigned as a host. If you go in there, you have to claim host, and whoever claims the host has the authority to mute.
Yeah, they have a place in Florida, and they bought a small condo up here. So
I texted.
We don't know our number.
Because right now, when I click on it, it says if I have the host key, which I do not, I can sign in to claim host. There's a 6 or 10 digit number that you can use to take over as host.
Where do you get to that screen, Adrian?
Oh, did they?
So there was, okay, let me click this out. Let me see how I got to that again. Essentially, when I was in a participants piece, if you open up the participants panel.
Yep, but we don't know the host key.
And then, oh, okay, so then that's the issue. So because whoever was host that started the meeting is no longer there and then did not auto assign a host. The reason why nobody can mute is because nobody is assigned as the host of the meeting.
So if you want, you can sign in to claim host as well. There are 2 options.
Yeah.
Is it letting you log in as host?
There you go.
I don't know how the pin is.
We get it?
And then now that you're
Can you guys hear us?
Wait, did I just mute Adrian? Sorry, Adrian.
Can you hear us?
That's okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
And then we come to the gap, which is, if you're writing an offer on a purchase agreement and we're seeing agents write offers on deals knowing, doggone well, it will never, ever appraise. And then they're saying, well, I'll pay so much above the appraisal value. So if I got a $200,000 house and I say, I'm gonna write 250, and I say my seller will pay $25,000 above appraisal price. When that price, the house appraises at 195, and the seller thinks they're getting 250. And then, so if you don't write the gap language correctly, then you can't force a seller, to sell at a price that he's not going to agree to if it's not written right. If you remember in the escalating clause, you had a low end and you had a high end, and you had an agreement of documentation. And so in the gap language, you have to have a low end and a high end too. And so it was about 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had search to close attorney in here, and she left some language behind us from the Columbus Board of Realtors, and it's here, and I think it is on our loop system. Did we get this on the loop system? Is regarding gap language and contracts?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just go over this.
It's in the
real quick.
clause
It's- I don't want to read something you guys can read, but you're not reading it. Okay. So, should the parties appraise for less than the final agreed upon purchase price, the short appraisal, which is not going to be used no more because it's a negative term. The buyer will cover any shortage of the appraisal up to a maximum amount of dollars. The final purchase price shall be agreed to in writing by the buyer and seller. So if I say write the offer for 200 and I say I'm going to cover $25,000 of appraisal, then you have to rewrite it on an addendum and have both parties sign that. If you're looking to establish the price, and this is what we're looking to do, so you want to have this language in here. When representing the buyer, you want to have this. The provision shall determine the purchase price shall supersede and control over any conflicting terms in this section 3.2. 3.2 is the appraisal clause. So when you have I'm going to pay this much more, you also have to deal with the appraisal clause that says the parties got to agree. So you want to have that in there. And so the best way to do it, if you're representing the buyer, so you're representing the buyer, this is exactly what you want to do, is say, I'll give you, the house is 200, I'll pay I'm going to write 250 or $25,000 appraisal gap, right? And then you want the buyer to say, I will pay no more than, let's say 230. Because they've already pushed the margins pretty good. They know it's not going to come. So then you want to see what's happened is that the minimum price is actually 200 because that's the listing price. The maximum price is going to be 230 on the buyer side. Now, if you're representing the seller, what you have to do, if the seller doesn't counter that, they agree to it. So if you're representing the seller, and you get that language thrown on your point of view, then you have to have this heavy dialogue with the seller, and you have to do the math yourself. So this is what the contract says. I know you have it for 200, and he wrote 250. He says he'll go up to 230 maximum. Are you in agreement with that? Because he's going to go yes or no. What other answer is there? And if he says, no, I'm not in agreement, he said he paid me 250, then you have to counter that back and say, you have to say that, no, the seller's floor price is going to be maybe 245. So you have to have your margins in writing and established. And so, that you can see that how much conflict, even in this discussion, there is. So when you do have these issues come up, talk to Taylor or myself so we can make sure it's written properly in your contracts to protect your client's interest, whether it be the buyer or the seller piece. You want to protect the seller because they want the most. You want to protect the buyer because they want the least.
And Mark,
So
is Columbus Realtors going to actually put something out as a document? And how soon do you think that'll be?
we've already had the broker meeting, forms meeting. We're having another forms meeting before the next broker meeting. So it should happen just in the next month or so. It's all got to go to review to Jack Hirsch, the attorney, and then approved by the board of directors.
So in the
So
meantime,
it's a-
just make sure you're looking out, because in the situation Mark's talking about, our agent was representing the buyer and had written in the ceiling like they should, but the agent on the other end that was representing the seller did not have a floor. And seller all of a sudden said, I'm not going to do this. So buyer thinks they've got a house for this price, and so and then it becomes a big adversarial situation.
And so in that particular scenario, the seller got an attorney and said, no, my client's right. You don't have to pay for that. You guys never agreed to that price. And yet, if they did, because it was the buyer client, our agent, wrote the maximum amount they were willing to pay above the appraisal price. And then, so the buyer's attorney now, they're saying, no, my client's right. You gotta pay my client's right. So now what do? You got an attorney, and you're the agent going, well, am I gonna argue with the attorney? You know, I can't practice law.
So yeah, this is
You can argue, by the way, you can argue with an attorney, but you can't practice law. And so that was the case. So so after the meeting, I got a call from the attorney that was in the committee, and he said, your agent was right. So then I have another attorney calling me and saying, no, your girl was right. It's like,
Yeah, it's so just be really
like-
careful with those gaps right now.
Yeah, so that's why I brought it to the board of directors or the broker advisory board as a conflict of interest, because the way things are going today, our contract does not protect the buyer or seller. And then we had brokers in there saying, well, your agents need to be knowledgeable. I go, wait a second, we're Columbus Realtors. And one broker is saying your agents are practicing law. I said, if you want us to stop practicing law, then put it into the contract.
Right.
And so, you're gonna educate the client, you're gonna educate your agents. When you're a broker, and you have 5 or 6 agents, that's not so hard. But when you're a broker and you have 310 agents, it's a different ballgame. And so we have, like, this is the 3rd or 4th time I've brought this up, but I see a whole new group of people. And I'm glad that I have a whole new group of people here.
All right.
So that was my 3 minutes.
All right, Rachel, what do you have for us for a tech tip today?
Not
you.
really much, honestly. Things are just plugging along, I guess, with Command. I have a lot of teams that are getting up and running on Command. So if you're a team and you're looking to do that, you can book an appointment with me. Our regional tech classes have changed from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to accommodate any agents that may be doing lead gen in the morning or just can't make that 10 a.m. So we have named them on our calendar, Command, and then what it is about, what tab, if it's opportunities, if it's Facebook, if it's contract to close. So you'll find those on our training calendar at 1 o'clock every single day, Monday through Friday. And I've been trying to post as much as I can on our Facebook business page, so you can find a lot of different things there. Every time I come up with something new or an agent discovers something, I like to put it on there for everyone to see, because I know that that's being used a lot.
Also, the glitches that were happening with the mobile app have been corrected. One of the things we did learn is that if someone has a very outdated iPhone or phone and cell phone in general, smartphone, that there may be issues with compatibility. So if you are working with someone that is using an older phone, just give them a heads up that that might be an issue.
And if you don't have your automatic updates on for your App Store, your Play Store, you may have an older version of the app. So I don't know how frequently you update your apps, but it's probably good to check at least once a month to see if any and all of your apps need updated as well.
All right. Move right along. Okay. Megan had to leave for a telephone call.
She just wanted me to remind everyone, still every Tuesday and every Thursday at 2 o'clock, again on our calendar, she's teaching how to get paid through Command with the commissions in Command. She also walks through creating an opportunity, so you'll get a little extra training there. So if you have a closing coming up, and you're tired of doing green sheets and you want to do them through command, go ahead and hop on to one of Megan's classes Tuesday and Thursday, 2 o'clock.
A couple of people have asked for Mark to re-clarify what he went over today. On Mondays with Mark, I'll ask Mark to go over the gap clause again, and also the escalation clause. And also to answer your question about where is the escalation clause document, it's under the Columbus Realtors template in .loop.
And the gap language should be in there.
And the gap language is in
Two different.
the
documents.
template under Keller Williams Greater Columbus under clauses. Yes. All right.
Monday mornings with Mark at 10, and the link is on, the education link is on our training calendar. For
Yep.
the next 6 weeks, I have it, that link in there, so
Great.
we don't have to use our link.
All right. Now let's talk about some other good things happening with awards, because you guys have been a little busy. So let's move on. We mentioned our cappers earlier, which is the 100% club. We know everybody wants to be a member of that club. Also, for head of the class this month, Malva, I have to get candy again. Usually when somebody wins and we're present, you can tell I haven't had people present for a while. So I'll get candy to start throwing at you guys again. So good job, Malva, for attending classes, getting your education on. Our bulldog this month, you know, it was really hard to come up with bulldogs, but because of Red Day and all the culture surrounding Red Day, and kind of that's one of the things that makes us different than other companies. I wanted to Gibson. Sorry about that. Gibson Spike and Adrian Odell both spent extra time on Red Day with videotaping and using all of their equipment and all of that to help us get footage and create videos. So I wanted to give them the Bulldog recognition for that, and then also Tim Gordon for being Tim the Tool Man. All right, let's talk about some numbers. Damn, Truett. Team Truett on top this month for written volume. 5 million and change. Hey, Pam. And in the second spot, we have the transition team with 5 million and change as well. I'm sorry.
Oh my, you're right, reading which one, okay.
And then in the third spot, we've got Paul George just under that $5 million mark, 4.7 and change. Then we've got Kathy Cairo's group at 4.5 million and change. So, and then the one group, which is Jensen's group at 4.2.
Or Gibson.
Team DeLeon, which is Zach DeLeon, a little over 4. And then Powerhouse, which is Tracy Kepper, just under 4. So boy, we've got some neck and neck teams in there between that $4 and $5 million mark. Nice job. All right, let's look and see who closed what. The transition team is at 3.6 and change.
Don Fickle and
That's Don Fickle, Steve Collins, their group. Then we have Team DeLeon at 3.6, just barely under that number. So that's almost a tie. Then we have Powerhouse at a little over 3 million. Team Truett just under 3 at 2.8. The Gordon group, 2.3. Kathy Cairo group, a little over 2, and the Paul George group just under at 1.7. So nice job. Good month, you guys. Well, let's look at our individuals. Our individual in the top spot is Larry Walker out in our Granville office at 3.2 million and change, followed by Pam Odie, who's the blonde that Vince was talking about he's married to, just under 3 million, followed by Kristen Chris, 1.8 and change. Sandy Frey at 1.5 and change. She and Martha Hunley they could hardly get any closer than that. Then we've got Tammy Cheek and Scott Morrison. Nice job. Let's see what they closed. We had Mick Gordon on top with 2.5 million and change, followed by Kristen Chris at 2.1, Larry Walker at 1.7, Derek Smith just over $1 million. Sandy Frey, 891, Keith Elliott, 696, and Rima Bazarbashi at 610. Nice job, you guys. All right. Dates to remember. I know you guys can all read the calendar, so I'm not going to go over all of them. However, I want to make sure that you know about some things coming up. We have, if you are new, we have a productivity coaching informational meeting every Tuesday at 2. We're getting ready. Ignite is being ran on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Go ahead and let's move on to the next slide.
Oh, sorry.
We've got an appraisal gap lunch and learn with Mark James. He's going to actually come talk about from the lender end of things, the appraisal gap. So that would be a good class for you guys to be a part of. Contract mastery with Mark is going to be next week on Thursday. Office will be closed on Memorial Day, Monday, May 31st. I know that's the end of the month. So I'm sure that Friday will be busy. We'll be actually taking checks and processing them as late in the day as we possibly can. So get your checks in as soon as you can from closings this month with the holiday in there, because we want to get you paid. There's also a class coming up about appraisals and determining value. That's a good class for all of us because values are pretty difficult right now with the way things are going over, and it's always a moving target. There's a home warranty 101 with America's Preferred coming up on June 8th. If you have a team, are growing a team, are looking for talent, Gene Rivers, who is one of the best trainers Keller Williams International has, is going to be doing a 2-step class, career visioning and 30, 60, 90. And they're going to be one day each, a week apart. The first one's on June 10th, and that's all about how to find talent, hire talent, the interviewing process, how to use the systems Keller Williams has to make that process simpler for you. Then the second, the 30, 60, 90 is how to train and retain talent once you get them. So I recommend that to all of our teams. And even if you just want to better yourself and understand systems better, it's not a bad class to attend. Our ALC will be June 10th. And then lastly here, I want to talk about profit share. Woohoo, look at these numbers. In the month of April, we shared just under $26,000 back with you guys. That's awesome. We'll come back in just a second. Disappearing cap. Not only do we want you to get your unfair share of profit share by referring people to us to help bring into the brokerage and name you as a sponsor, but if you help us add someone to our brokerage that produces 2.5 million or more each year, or in the last year, not only will you get the benefit of profit share, we'll also reduce your cap by $5,250 for each one. So help us add 4 and you work for free. You're 100% all year. So don't forget the disappearing cap.
Stop clicking. I'm the clicker.
You were sleeping. All right, Blair, you want to talk about your 101 class real quick?
I do, thank you. Okay, so as many of you may have seen on Facebook or in general, I'm doing monthly Keller Williams exclusive classes every second Tuesday of the month. The first at 10 a.m., the second one's at 1 p.m. So that's that June 8th date. The slide had the wrong time on it, so please keep that in mind. Also, we had a new construction 101 class this last Tuesday, or the 18th, 2 days ago. It went well. If you would like to gain some insight on the new construction process, I'd be happy to set up a meeting with you guys with Alex Ehrlich. She is awesome and so knowledgeable. She's been in the new construction business for a very long time, and she just knows the process from beginning to end. Also, if you would like a specific class, that's in the works right now. I'm trying to make that every third Tuesday of the month, just to kind of keep things simple. And additionally, if you or any agents you know work specifically with Spanish speakers, we are launching a Spanish warranty, and I'm currently working with individual agents to get their feedback so that I can figure out how we can best cater things to the Latino population. So si ustedes hablan español, hablan conmigo porque sería divertido y ya está. Okay, and then the last thing, and please be sure to turn in your data collection forms to get paid. If you don't know how, I would love to see you on my 1 p.m. June 8th class, and or I'd be happy to set up something specifically with you. And last but not least, Red Day was fun. It was good to see some of you, and if you just want to get together in general, I miss your faces. So please let me know. Thanks for your time.
All right, one last question that came up in our chat is what time is Mondays with Mark? It's at 10 o'clock. And we go ahead and flip the lights on, Pamela. So does anybody have any questions or anything else for the good of the agenda here? Go ahead, Malva.
What is ALS?
ALC is, it's our Associate Leadership Council meeting. And it's where the agents that are in our top 20% are essentially on a selected to be a board of directors. They meet once a month and everybody is welcome to come to those meetings. We encourage it so you can see what's going on and the decision-making of the office is happening there. Everybody has a say so, and that group is who votes on it.
Is the movie tomorrow the cartoon or the live action?
I'm sorry, what?
Is the movie tomorrow the cartoon or the live?
The live action. It's the Mulan 2020.
You just need your samurai out.
Anybody
You got the beard.
else have anything to share?
I can do that.
All right, so good to have everybody back in the saddle here. I love it. So thank you, everybody from home that joined us as well, and everybody that joined us from here. Good to see you all, and we'll see you again soon.
Monday mornings with Mark at 10.
Bye.